And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to being your consumer advocate here in Tampa Bay. Brandon Rhymes, I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to help you win in any marketplace is our goal of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we've got a special guest today, Tampa Mayor Jane Castor, appearing on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We appreciate your time and spending some time with us. Welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Thank you, Brandon. My pleasure.
Excellent. Yeah. So been a few years since you were on the show. Last time you were on as the police chief, and a lot of things have changed. And currently we're dealing with some unprecedented times. So we wanted to jump right into, some of your advice and be that conduit for our listeners and viewers of our show here. So what kind of information would you like to share with our listening audience?
Excellent. Well, first of all, I would like to share, just the basic points again is, in ensuring that everybody's washing their hands, that they've heard 1,000 times, disinfecting. Most important aspect of that is the distancing, the social distancing, ensuring that we're staying 6 to 10 feet away from individuals. And that is the most important part of trying to break this cycle of the virus being passed from individuals. The significance of the virus isn't necessarily the danger of the virus itself. It's the ease with which it's transmitted and contracted. And so we'd really like to have that social distancing between individuals. And then also following all of the rules that have been put in place. And lastly, what we're asking everybody to do is to stay calm, stay connected, and above all else, stay kind. We're trying to make kindness contagious. I know that this is something that is a burden to a lot of individuals. It's very frustrating. But if you think about the consequence, we can actually save lives by taking these simple steps. And we want to make, in our community, we want to make the kindness contagious, helping out your neighbors, getting a takeout order from a local restaurant that's struggling, whatever we can do to help our community get through this. Now, we are looking at a stay-at-home order for the city of Tampa. We tried to get that passed yesterday at the emergency policy group, and they weren't amenable to it. So I think that is incredibly important, again, to keep individuals away from each other. But what this does, some people talked about a curfew. Now, a curfew, if you say individuals can't be out from, say, 10 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning, what you're going to have is a large number of people going to the grocery store, going to the pharmacy, going to wherever they need to go right before that curfew is enacted. And so you're going to have crowds, again, together in close proximity. Also, the curfew is more burdensome because it says you can't leave your home from between these hours, where a stay-at-home order allows individuals to still move freely. You just do it individually. If you want to go out for a walk, if you want to ride your bike, you can do those things. If you need to go to the pharmacy at midnight, you can do that with the stay-at-home order. Also, the essential service provision, the grocery stores, gas stations, pharmacies, all of those would remain open in addition to all of the essential services that keep our community running. And in essence, instead of saying these are the businesses that can stay open and these are the businesses that have to shut, if the business is able to enact those social distancing requirements, then they can still stay open. So it's a very simple process. Again, we're number 3 in the state right now for the number of COVID-19 positive tests. And that is said with the asterisk of we have minimal ability to test right now because we don't have the necessary supply.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a big challenge. That's part of the challenge with the whole spread is who actually has it, and the inability to have the test on hand. If you just joined us, we're talking with Tampa Mayor Jane Castor here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. Now, Jane, my wife and I own and operate a real estate team here in Tampa Bay, out of Palm Harbor, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty, and real estate has its own challenges right now. What other types of businesses are you deeming essential, and any particular insights into the real estate space in particular that you've seen?
We're a very a community made up of very bright, innovative individuals. And again, you go back to that basic overarching concept of keeping people out of close physical proximity.
Right.
And I saw the other day where a realtor was doing virtual tours of homes for potential buyers, those kinds of things. Or if you're meeting a single buyer at a location and you can keep that physical distance from each other. Right. That really is the key to it, to breaking the cycle of passing this virus. And also one of the issues that we're having is with a lot of the young people that feel that they're invincible, same way I did when I was young. And frankly, as far as this virus is concerned, a lot of young people can contract it and not even know that they have it. So they're walking around asymptomatic and can be taking it home to those individuals that are in the high risk, the elderly or those with compromising health conditions. And that's where the danger comes in.
Right. Absolutely. And the economic impact, we know it's going to be, in the millions for the Tampa Bay area, maybe even, higher than that. What are your early forecasts? I know it's changing daily, but do we have any kind of a handle on that in terms of estimating?
No, we don't have a dollar amount on that. Clearly, it has really impacted those hospitality and tourist-centric businesses. And those are the individuals that we as a community need to help. Helping out your neighbors that may be out of a job because it was somehow associated with tourism or a convention or a conference or a sporting event that has been canceled. And then in the hospitality industry, making sure that you're patronizing your local neighborhood restaurants or any restaurant in the Tampa Bay area through takeout or through delivery, making sure that we're trying to help those individuals. I stopped at one of my favorite restaurants the other day, Mama's Soul Food on MLK, and took wings and greens and mac and cheese out to our communication center where all of our fire and police dispatchers are trying to keep the city's first responders moving. So we can all have those acts of kindness, out there helping our community. That's what makes Tampa the best city in the world, is we all stand up when there's an issue that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I agree. I see, we finish our show with that sentiment exactly, is go out and create a random act of kindness, do something kind for one another. What are some other creative ways that people may be able to be kind and, being creative at the same time with the at home and, the idea of staying at home and the virtual reality type thing?
Yeah, there are a lot of things that can be done. A lot of people that are much more creative than I am. I drove yesterday down by the river, and I saw a group of individuals, 4 individuals doing yoga, and they were all separated significantly in distance, but out getting their exercise. There are a lot of in-home activities that you can find on the web. Our incredible Parks and Recreation group, they are creating things that can be done at home, games that can be played, all of those types of things, just trying to keep individuals occupied and healthy in our community. I said that I feel the sign of success that everyone is staying home and following our request is that Netflix will crash. I think that's going to be the sign of success right there.
Yeah, exactly. Causing Netflix to crash. That's interesting. The times are uncertain. The virus is very contagious. Kindness is contagious, and we appreciate you appearing on the show with us today and sharing that those acts of kindness. And I love the collard greens and all that good stuff too. So that support your local takeout. Yeah. We got about a minute left. Parting words of wisdom or advice from the mayor.
Well, I would just ask that everyone understand the significance of this and understand their personal responsibility in it as well. It's very, very important. And, we are an incredible community, and together we will get through this, even if we have to stay apart for a little while. The quicker we heed these warnings and take these actions, the quicker we're going to be able to get out from under this.
That's right. Well, thanks so much for calling into the show today. Thanks for your leadership, and continue doing a great job for us up there. We appreciate your leadership.
My pleasure, Brandon, and thanks for keeping your viewers and your listeners informed.
Hey, my pleasure. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All righty. So that was Mayor Jane Castor, Tampa Mayor Jane Castor on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Coming up, we've got Thomas King from Florida Firearms Academy, self-defense expert here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And give a quick shout out to Golf Cart Depot. Say hello to Marty and his team over at Golf Cart Depot. This segment was brought to you by the Golf Cart Depot here in Tampa Bay. 2 locations here, and support your local economy. We'll be right back with Thomas King.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. This was pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections for
Battles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of...
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to...
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. Mm-hmm. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, and want to help you win in any marketplace, buying, selling, or investing. Yes, we're doing a lot of real estate virtually now, but we do want to help you. So if you're buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you. My wife and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, and we want to help you through these trying times here. And this segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Say hello to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. Great time to go and get a vitamin infusion drip. They actually deliver as well directly to your home or office. They will deliver, and you've got amino acids, extras, health and wellness packages, and of course the most popular is the Myers cocktail. Boost your immune system with vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes. Big shout out to Replenish IV Solutions right here in Tampa Bay. And a couple of hot listings that we've got. 260 Lyndhurst is a great opportunity in Dunedin right here. You got water views at the end of the street, and it's right in Tampa Bay at 260 Lyndhurst Street, Dunedin. You've got an income producing mother-in-law suite for any type of rental opportunities, and then you have a courtyard, beautiful pool, and the property is priced to sell. We just did a major price reduction on 260 Lyndhurst right in Dunedin, Florida. And 6919 Makers Way in Apollo Beach back on the market. Buyer financing fell through, so this property is back on the market. It's a beautiful property. Check out that community pool as well. I mean, I had small pools when we were growing up, but that is a pool it's almost like a monster. It's like a Wet n Wild type pool, isn't it? Something. Right. 6919 Makers Way, Apollo Beach. We got Thomas King in the house as well. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. Welcome back in, sir.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure, Dick.
Yeah, man. So we are looking at unprecedented times. You said this COVID-19 is affecting your business as well.
Well, it's affecting all the businesses right now. I think there's like 30% of Americans are laid off right now. So what I'm doing with my employees, because the state has shut down our range shooting portion, the entertainment part. Yeah. However, we are staying open for firearms, ammo, and you don't have to sleep outside of our store and wait for us to open. Seriously, we're going to get you what you need. And I'm working with the community in the division of each different gun store, so they're going to let me know what they have, so I can send you all to that location. We're getting in stuff daily, so you don't have to panic. Don't worry, we're going to get you what you need, get you taken care of. Our classes right now, because we do have 40 different types of classes, but we're going to just hold it down to basic pistol and concealed weapon right now, because there's like 600 people came in, never picked up a gun in their life. So they wanted to buy a gun. We showed them how to hold, load, aim, and shoot it. However, we want to make sure you know how to do it correctly and safely. You're abiding by the laws. And with a new firearm, you have to make sure that the responsibilities of the owner and the laws that you have to abide by. So we want to make sure we're going to do a free seminar video for you on that. But we are offering one-on-one classes only for one person. You can come in with any of our 14 instructors. You can take that class, make sure you know what you're doing safely and correctly. Like you took a class with us not that long ago.
It was awesome.
It was a lot of fun, right?
That was so fun. My wife or my daughter went in with us, and Thomas is an awesome coach, and he taught us how to hold, load, aim, and shoot.
Move and shoot.
And we were doing moving.
Targets.
Yeah, we were doing moving, like we were walking up to the target, backing up from the target.
It's a whole other game, right?
Yeah.
What everyone does, they come to a range and they stand behind the line and they do the basic fundamentals. They get out there and they shoot at a piece of paper that isn't moving and they squint one eye. You want to make sure you're doing it right. So I want to make sure you do it tactically. You know how to move and shoot. Whole nother game. You know how to hit multiple targets. Check your back. Check your six. See where what you need to do. How to draw out. How to make sure that there's you're keeping your firearm in a safe location. Your barrel. Every round that comes out of your firearm, you're held responsible and accountable for. So you have to make sure you're not pointing that muzzle at anything you don't want to destroy. Those are very important tips for you. But tomorrow, it'd be Wednesday at noontime, we're doing a free seminar on how to, this will be with a bunch of different instructors, but we've come across, we do a free seminar usually, but we're going to do it online on our Facebook page at Florida Firearms Academy. It's going to be for how to make you and your house a hard target. Now, that doesn't mean cameras and lights and all that stuff like that. That's a deterrent. How to make your house a hard target, not with weapons or firearms or anything like that, but it only will cost you a few dollars to do these simple things. So when a bad guy walks by your house, he's going to say, no, not that house. I'm going to go to another house.
Oh, I like that. That's important
stuff.
And going back to the training, the training was great. It was, for me, it was, some of it was remedial, some of it was brand new information, and those little tips and strategies could save lives. And for my daughter, learning how to shoot, I think it gives kids that extra sense of, wow, okay, if it does come to this, I have that confidence to be able to defend myself.
Absolutely. And you do have to ask yourself this. Your daughter did phenomenal, by the way. You do have to ask yourself this. Can I defend my family? Am I mentally okay to do that?
Right.
Will I have to stop a threat if I have to? Well, if it's your life is in danger, I would think you probably would. But some people mentally just can't. They can't go through that the rest of their life. So you really seriously, if you do purchase anything, ask yourself that question. Can I do that? There are other ways you can go ahead and defend your family without a firearm. But the best means to stop a threat that has a firearm is with a firearm.
Right. We're talking with Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and our goal is to be your consumer advocate, help you win in 80 plus categories of consumer advocate content and advice. And we've done that by bringing on expert contributors, local business owners, attorneys, CPAs, all types of home services. And Thomas is a great example of one of the key categories, in my opinion, in terms of self-defense. Preparing yourself for that moment of truth if it should come to that. Sure. And with these unprecedented times, people are locked in their homes. Some people are losing their jobs. There might be a spike in crime. Are you hearing anything about a spike in crime from that
community? Crime right now is not the thing. Everyone's going out getting supplies, food. For some reason they're getting toilet paper. I have no idea why. They're the people that aren't survivalists or preppers. You don't need toilet paper. You need food, and people are coming out in drones. Ammo was sold out across the country. You couldn't even order it. I couldn't even order it. Even Glocks were sold out across the country. So that's why people became a panic. I got to get a firearm. If this is why, this is the reasoning and mindset for it. If it does come to martial law or some kind of lockdown, and the police cannot come to your house, or an ambulance can't come to your house, that's when the bad guys come out. They know it's free reign right there. That's why people are getting things to protect themselves and their family.
Right. Yeah, and it's impacting different industries differently. Yeah, you had mentioned, the ammo, the guns, everything's, kind of selling quickly, selling out. In some cases, real estate is being, impacted. More and more people wanting to do virtual tours. Sellers are being very selective with who they let into their home to view the home. So it's a challenge.
A lot of the realtors are armed now, or at least have some kind of mace.
Exactly.
But what do you guys do right now for closings? How do you guys, can you still do that right now?
Well, they're mailing away closings. A lot of times they have mail documents out. They can go to a notary at, a bank or someone that they know that's a notary, overnight that package back to the title company. They then process the wires and the transmissions of the electronic funds, which, that's an area that you got to be careful as well. If you're ever wiring funds, make sure you call the other end recipient first, because there's a lot of fraud in that space. But back to Florida Firearms Academy, great location right here in Tampa Bay. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's crucial as well that how to defend yourself, and lots of classes, virtual classes coming up right now, you mentioned.
Right. And it's an educational thing. We're not a military style training, but we do have people that from military, law enforcement that are, have lots of experience. So we all, as instructors, the good thing about it is we all train together. So we're all on the same page. We know exactly the newest, latest, best technology and learning things and what they did in the past. Some of it was wrong, and some instructors out there are still teaching things like that. We want to eliminate that and make sure you get the best training possible.
Yeah, it's important to get training and have it ready to go. And there's right way and wrong way. Some of the conventional methods that you've been taught are wrong. We talked about that in the past, about even simple things of carrying it in my glove box and where to carry it, how to carry it. Do we want to touch on any of those common basic mistakes?
So many myths and what you can and can't do's and laws and things we've all heard. The best thing is to come in, get training with a reputable instructor. Make sure they know what they're doing. Make sure you know the laws correctly, because if not, it's going to lead you in a lot of trouble. So we were just talking that before the show about, checking your house and everything. If someone breaks into your house, don't go running around with your firearm looking. You heard a noise in the night, because in a court of law, they're going to say, oh, you went out looking for this person? So all you want to do, if someone broke into my house, take whatever you want downstairs. I don't care. But if you're coming up to my upstairs where my family's at, now you're putting a threat on my family, and I guarantee you that it's not going to be a good day for you. So most people, and you want to make sure if people come into your house, like we were talking with flashlights, learning how to do that, shooting in the dark. If some drunk kid comes in your house and you don't have a light or a good view on what this person is he a bad guy? Is he a drunk kid? And you take a shot,
right?
That's you going to jail. That's on you. So make sure you know the laws. Make sure you know how you have firearm training.
Yeah.
It's a big responsibility, or you can do it for just competition and sport and have a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, Florida Firearms, Thomas King here, longtime friend of the program, on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Yeah, that's an interesting point because that happens, especially college towns or in college neighborhoods. Right. Kids get drunk, they stumble into the wrong house, and if you just start shooting, they're unarmed.
What if it's a family member that has your key and they're coming in at 2 a.m. because they've been out partying and they can't drive home?
Yep.
And you just open fire. That's on you, and you're gonna have to live with that for the rest of your life. So firearm training.
Yeah, that's a good point. Firearm training, and there are supplies available. You still have guns available?
We have stuff coming in every day. Yep. I mean, I just sent out a picture on our Facebook page, Florida Firearms Academy. If you go there, yesterday I gave away a free rifle and ammo just for posting up your favorite vacation picture, because we can't go on vacation right now. So tons of people posted up. We picked out 3 winners, and today we're actually giving a whole roll of toilet paper away, a case of toilet paper, and all you have to do is post up your favorite apocalyptic movie. So we do a drawing every day. All week we do some fun stuff. So if you want to come on there, see what we do, Florida Firearms Academy on our Facebook page, you'll have a lot of fun with it.
And what's the physical address?
We're at 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. We're right in between the flea market and West Chase there.
Yeah, awesome. And more from Thomas. He's hanging out with us here for today, and we're going to talk about an interesting feel-good story. You think about some of those that are impacted in the community: nurses, doctors, medical first responders.
Absolutely.
But the elderly are being hit hard as well, especially in the nursing homes. So you got 2 friends raised thousands to buy iPads for nurses, for nursing homes, so residents can FaceTime with family. That's our feel-good story today. We're going to talk a little bit deeper about that and impacts here locally on the Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida, right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Thomas King's in the house. We're hanging out. We're going to talk to you about that when we come back. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this short break.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it's Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
62, who knew? I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62, who knew?
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember. Ask me about
Yes.
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Backles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
You're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as sisters connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We got Thomas King in the house, Florida Firearms Academy, talking about self-defense here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Before we jump back into that, I want to touch on a couple of hot listings that we've got here in Tampa Bay. Got some great opportunities. 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue. This is a property in Tampa, and it is perfect for someone that is, let's say you're a business owner and you are paying lease space. You're leasing your office building where your employees, everyone's coming in to work. This is a great opportunity to buy 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. It's in Town and Country, and it's a beautiful building. It's a large building, and you've got security cameras. You got completely gated, lots of parking. Great opportunity here to own your own building. Stop paying your landlord's mortgage and buy a building right here in Tampa Bay. It's around $450,000 or so is the price tag, and you got a huge conference room in there as well, and a kitchen. Great opportunity, great space for a business owner to purchase real estate here in Tampa Bay. We also have a great opportunity for vacant land, 0 Alternate 19 in Palm Harbor. It's also known as 516 Alt 19 Palm Harbor. This is your opportunity to build from the ground up, be able to create that blank canvas, start and build a business right here in Tampa Bay. It's got the walkability of downtown Palm Harbor, and all the impact fees have been paid. So it's a great opportunity here in Tampa Bay to own real estate. Check out our website for all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. platinummvpteam.kw.com. And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving. The official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Brothers Easy Moving. So whether you're planning a local or long distance move, I can tell you from firsthand experience that Brothers Easy Moving does a great job. They're a first-class organization. Reach out to Gary Thacker. He's the owner, and let him know that the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, let's jump right into it, Thomas. So Thomas King's back in the house. Let's go retro here. Like how long have you been in the business and
Well, it's crazy. My life story on this was when I was 5 years old, my father taught me how to shoot. I thought it was the most amazing thing in the world.
Yeah.
And we do teach 5-year-olds how to shoot. It's a free class.
Yeah.
Everything's covered. But once I got into that, I started doing competition shooting, and then I went into the finance world and all that crazy stuff. And when I retired from there, I wanted to do my dream, and that's go ahead and protecting people. That's what we do. We show you how to protect your family.
Yeah.
You are your first responder. It's going to take time to get the police to come out there. So if someone breaks into my house, I'm going to do everything and anything I possibly can to my last breath to make sure my family's safe. And I'm sure you would too.
Yeah, exactly.
But right now, I want to talk about a lot of these companies that are out there that I've had customers come into our store. These people are telling me they're paying $800 for a basic Glock 19 Gen 4, an older model. And you know what? You people that are price gouging people, the people aren't going to forget that.
Wow.
And they're not going to come to your business. So if you're trying to take advantage of like $400 and some change.
So a nice gun, a nice handgun for about $300 to $400.
You can get we put all ours on sale for $289. Not the Glocks. This was Smith & Wesson that had a big promo.
Wow.
So they went as soon as we put them out, and as soon as we put them out, they're gone.
Wow.
And that's us making $5 on it because we want to cover the employee, the background check, all that, the paperwork. So I'm not here to make the money off. We make our money on training and fire on the range, to be honest with you.
That's awesome.
But if these companies out there not only price gouging for food or whatever it may be, people aren't going to forget that.
Yeah.
And with all of this going on, until this is all taken care and said and done, everything's going to change after this. How we do business, how we do more things online. Because if you look at Amazon, they're going to hire over I think they said 100,000 people to help out right now because everybody's going online. They don't want to go out of their houses. So many businesses, how their operation works is going to completely change after this. And it's going to evolve into something where we will have to be a little distance, but This is just the first outbreak that we've had.
Yeah, social distancing. The Chinese virus started in China, some months ago, and now it's impacted us in America here. And
look how
we're doing
fast
our
that
best.
happened.
Yeah, look how fast it's happened, and look at the oversight. A lot of people aren't mentioning, but I think a lot of the blame should be on the politicians for not having tests in place, not having a stockpile of masks. We're scrambling for supply chain now, and it's too late.
We're relying on China for all the medication.
Yeah,
because we don't make it here.
Exactly.
You know what? In Florida, see, everyone says, "Oh, it's going to go back to good. It's all business is going to be starting up pretty soon." See, I think of it differently because I'm a survivalist. I really think about how this is all working. You have people from New York and Washington coming here every day.
Exactly.
How do we stop? When you go to Walmart and you put your debit card in and you're pushing the keypad, you just touch the keypad that every single person has touched.
Right.
So if you're not washing your hands, how do we stop that spread?
Right.
That's what I'm thinking of. So I think it can only get worse because one person spreads it to three people spreads it to nine people spreads it to 27, and that can happen in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
So to isolate it, we really do have to stop something. Now to shut the whole United States down, that would crush us and everyone out there that relies on the stock market, relies on some kind of income, fixed income, even your 401, your retirement plan. I mean, this is all going down the hill. And as you know, back in, was it 21 when the market crashed,
right?
People were jumping out of buildings. I mean, they lost everything. They can't even feed their family. So this isn't going to go that route. We're going to be able to get through this.
Yeah.
We just all have to work together as a team.
Yeah, we're talking with Thomas King. He is the owner of Florida Firearms Academy, a self-defense expert here in Tampa Bay, and I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. So we appreciate you spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and that's the goal of our show, is to engage with you. So we'd love for you to reach out. Anything you hear today that you want to have more information on, call us on our hotline. 813-670-7372 is our Consumer Advocate hotline. Call or text that number. Any questions, comments, concerns you have, 813-670-7372. Also, the website, you can submit an email form from our website at consumerqb.com. consumerqb.com, and we'll make sure we get right back to you before our head hits the pillow on that hotline. So one of the key things right now is food, staying at home, staying calm. I think so many times people overreact, and it causes further problems when people get into that kind of a kickback mode.
Right, absolutely. And what we did as neighbors, we had musical bingo. Everyone stayed in their driveway. They cranked up the music. We had bingo cards. We all just sat in our driveway and had a few drinks and had a lot of fun. So there's many things you can do to make sure you keep your sanity. Make sure you are communicating with your neighbors through text, through Skype, whatever, or family. So that way, if you do see someone suspicious, bad guys are really smart. And we're going to go over this in our seminar tomorrow. But they'll go to Walmart, buy one of those little video cameras for deer hunting.
Yeah.
They'll stick it across your house, and they'll see your whole game plan. When you leave, when you get up, when you eat dinner, when you go to breakfast. They're going to know exactly. They'll just come back, pick it up in a few days. They're going to know your whole game plan.
Wow.
So make sure you change things up. But we're going to go through all this in the seminar. But right now, when we are doing classes in basic pistol, we are making sure we clean every firearm. We make sure when you touch it, we spray it. When you're in the classroom, everything gets sprayed down. I have this with me. So when I do go shopping, I spray my hands up. I make sure that if I touch a debit card, like if I go to McDonald's and I hand him my credit card, he hands it back to me.
Right.
That's, how many people he's touched with the credit card. So I spray my credit card. Make sure you're cleaning yourself. That's as easy as that. If you do get it, just stay isolated. So that's a main thing. So you don't spread it around. And you're going to get through it. Even people that are older have gotten through it and lived through it. So just be safe.
It's interesting too with these trying times that we have. Is it? And I know there's no definitive answer here, but it would be interesting to ponder here. Is it going to be another 2, 3, 6 weeks, or is it going to be 2, 3, 6 months?
Well, you saw what China did. Now China's a different, whole nother ball game from what we did.
Mm-hmm.
They shut it down. I mean, they went through the streets and sprayed every single building with stuff that kill everything.
Yeah.
You could not come out of your house.
Wow.
Yeah, that is one way to do it, and that's a really good way to do it.
Yeah.
You do that for 2 weeks. Now they're back up. They're running. They're opening their businesses. They haven't had any new outbreaks.
Yeah.
But when you look at other countries that are getting into it late, boy, it's really hitting them hard, and not just financially. Lives lost is lives lost. So
it's a lot about flattening the curve as aggressively as possible.
Yep. You got to. And so my family, we're not going to go out and we're not going to go to Publix and Walmart. I mean, you can just stay your distance. So have gloves on. when you use something, clean your hands. Make sure you're not spreading it around. And if you are sick, just have it delivered to you. You can have your groceries delivered, your dry cleaning, everything can be delivered to you.
Yeah.
Almost anything. You can't deliver a firearm to you, but you got to come into our store.
Can't do an Uber on that one.
Back in the day, you probably could. Not an Uber, but Sears.
Yeah. So Thomas King's in studio here, Florida Firearms Academy, and a lot of businesses are adapting by going remote. They're doing virtual tours. We had Gary Keller lead a conference through the Keller Williams organization, talking about the shift and how top agents tackle tough times. And it's a lot of you got to work twice as hard to get that deal. You got to make sure you're diligent to see that deal all the way through and overcome a lot in the meantime. So hopefully it's just a matter of weeks here where we're past this and not months.
And most businesses right now, what they're doing is trying to help out their employees. A lot of them are furloughing employees. I'm trying to keep every employee I have on staff. I had to cut down hours. I won't even take a pay in it or nothing. I'm paying all my instructors 80% of everything because I have to pay for the ammo. I'm not taking a dime from it. I just want them to be able to feed their families right now, to make sure that we can all get through this as a family, because my team is like my family. They are good people. And as you know, and you've met a lot of them, they are really phenomenal, good people, phenomenal instructors. So I want to make sure that they're well taken care of. And if I told any of them, if you get sick, stay home, or if you have family you have to take care of, I will give you a percentage of your paycheck no matter what we can do. I'm going to make sure that you're going to be all right. So if other companies out there can do that, and can afford to do that or help out their employees, your employees are never going to forget that.
That's a big thing, man. Well, hats off to you for doing that with your team and working that way. Hopefully other businesses can take and see your leadership on how you're doing that with Florida Firearms Academy. And we've talked to some of our other show partners who are doing that as well with the Consumer Quarterback Show. So when we come back, we have our feel-good story of the day. This is another example of that random act of kindness, things that you can do to impact other people's life. Something that Mayor Castor talked about earlier in the show with the random act of kindness. But two friends raised thousands to buy iPads for nursing homes so residents can FaceTime with family. So think about the impact of those people in a nursing home. We're going to talk about that story more from Thomas King here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and also some other ideas to adapt in these trying times on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So stay with us right here. Don't touch that dial. Check us out online. Follow us at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter, and the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook and LinkedIn. We'll see you right after this break.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because Weaving TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
62 who knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 who knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember now.
Ask to me about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Backles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as sisters connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We're a top team in the area, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. Yes, even now with this corona, aka Chinese virus going on, things are still popping in the real estate space, and we're able to help you buy, sell, or invest. And by the way, there's some great opportunities out there, some motivated sellers. So on the buy side, there's some great opportunity, investors, great opportunities right now as well. Hit us up on the phone lines at 813-670-7372. You can call or text that line, 813-670-7372, and check out consumerqb.com. You can submit form there at the website, consumerqb.com, to all of our expert contributors. All right, every day we're going to tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day. Today we have a good one. Two friends raised thousands to buy iPads for nursing homes so residents can FaceTime with family. Think about the elderly right here, the challenge that they're seeing, and it's an interesting story. So since most nursing homes are no longer allowing visitors due to the coronavirus, it's become difficult for senior residents to stay connected to their families. That's why Jill Ashworth and Sarah Otis launched FaceTime for Nana. I thought these poor people in the nursing home, so they're so scared and isolated, I wish we could get a bunch of iPads to them. She told the Standard Times. So Sarah reached out to her friends to see if they were interested in starting a fundraiser together to buy iPads for nursing homes, so the residents could FaceTime and chat with family and friends. Jill jumped to the opportunity. So they created a Facebook page, FaceTime for Nana, and on March 17th, the goal was $300, enough to purchase one iPad. As of Saturday morning, they had raised $5,000, and we're waking up this morning with so much gratitude. She's quoted as saying, our original goal when we started this was to raise just $300 for one iPad, and 16 iPads later, we're only $465 away from the new goal. So yeah, later that day, they got the message from Alden Court Activity Director Sharon Jensen, thanking them on behalf of the residents and the staff. And the message read, during a difficult time, these sweet gestures literally make the residents' day. More than 75 FaceTime calls were made to families of Alden. This process has kept the families connected and reassured that their loved ones are safe. And so, interesting story. And it goes on to quote saying, I truly believe everything happens for a reason. Our society needed to slow down and be reminded of what matters. So, interesting story there. We got Thomas King in the house.
Great
Florida
story.
Firearms Academy. Yeah. Good. I love seeing those stories where, especially a lot of times GoFundMe pages are involved, Facebook pages are involved, and, families that have, we've had so many different awesome stories like that. House burned down, people jump in and, help replace items.
I believe it comes back tenfold to you.
That's right.
The better you do, the better you're going to be. So,
yeah.
And the better off others will be. So, especially in this time of need, we need to do that together. So
really
a couple
does.
of things that we have done for Florida Firearms Academy for our members. We froze all their accounts, so their memberships, so they're not going to lose that anytime. So any of you gym memberships out there, make sure your stores are doing that for you as well, because you paid for it. You get that back. So as long as we can get through this really quick, then hopefully they can get you back in the gym. Because there's going to be a lot of mad people out there if they don't go to the gym. You ever see a couple people who missed a week? They're like,
yeah.
So just be patient with each other, especially on the road. You know what's worse than the coronavirus? Is having a car accident during the coronavirus.
I bet.
I don't even know if you can go out and get a car right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, are the dealerships open?
Well, I think Moss Nissan still, you
still
serve,
kicking.
you say with not Moss Nissan, they're with the Captain's America.
Right, yeah. They've been with them for a long
Yeah.
time. Well, that's good to know. But I don't know if there's dealerships or your car guy can fix your car or whatever.
Right.
So repair it. So, make sure you're Make sure you're being
defensive.
safe on the road. Don't be on your phones right now. And
Drive defensive.
ammo
yeah.
limit. We have ammo. We're probably, I don't know how many people have ammo out there. It is sold out, literally. I'm limiting to 5 boxes per person, and home defense 2 boxes per person. And 3 guns per person. I don't want some rich people just coming in and just buying it all. That's not fair. It's not what we're about. We want to keep our community safe. We want to make sure everyone's well armed, well stocked, and ready to go. So 5 boxes per day, per caliber, per person. So there's many things that a lot of stores can do right now, even if they are closed, to ensure their customers, are going to come back to them. So just get on Facebook, let your customers know, hey, we're doing this to make sure that you're going to come back to us. You're not price gouging them. That's really important right now.
Let me ask you a question, Thomas. What with the Second Amendment being attacked, Virginia, it seemed, was the front line for that. What's the latest on that? The war on the Second Amendment.
This is what it is. Take it away, take it away, take it away.
Yeah.
So that's your right. It's not only your right, it's your God-given right. So I'm going to do everything I can to protect my family. That's just bottom line for me. You don't have to be that way, but I'm sure many Americans, just overnight, it seems like 90% of America became pro 2A. They are in our store trying to buy everything we got.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're very mad because, hey, why do I got to wait 5 days?
Right.
Well, that's what a lot of people voted on. The politicians scared you into believing that that's going to make a difference.
That's right.
22 federal gun laws on books, and not one of them is going to stop a mass shooting. Not one of them.
Right.
So adding more on top of more laws is not going to do anything. What stops it is a good guy with a gun.
That's right.
Getting well trained, having an officer, making sure that they can go ahead and stop them, or a good guy with a concealed weapon permit.
What about the real estate side? We got Thomas King here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Florida Firearms Academy. And of course, in real estate, you hear it, every other year or so that somebody gets killed. A lot of times it's a female that's being stalked or, potentially, raped in the act. What about something, I know a lot of real estate agents listen to this show and folks related to that industry. What are some quick tips of showing a home, being safe in the real estate business that maybe you've gathered over the time?
That is a long answer for that. But Alan Capmount, was it Sergeant Allen? He's on your show?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I had a meeting with him, and we set up a lot of realtors, and we talked about it to do a free seminar from them because they did come across an incident where a realtor was killed during showing a house. So if you watch one of our seminars tomorrow, or we'll have one next week, but the basic bottom line is be aware. See if you can read people. Reading people is very important. That's seeing if you have a firearm on you. Can you tell? Can you and make sure you see, it's all about body language. Are their feet facing you? Are they trying to get away? Are their eyes look, like they're gonna attack you?
Right.
They don't ever attack you from across the street. You'll never see a bad guy go, I'm gonna come over there and rob you. They come right up on you, and they act like they're on their phone, and now they pull their gun out or they pull a phone out. The surprise of element to a bad guy is key, and that's how they win. Your way of winning is making sure you stop that before it happens.
Yeah, spatial awareness. Someone's getting in your space.
Absolutely.
If you're opening a door, okay, you go first. Let them go first. Stand back and let them go through.
Another good way is just have a friend come with you, or another real estate agent. If you're training someone, this is how I do it. This is how I show a house. Have them come with you. The buddy system. Stay 6 feet apart, but make sure you have someone there because most times bad guys, they come in drones. There's 3 or 4 of them work together. One distracts you and the other ones line up the attack. So if you have 2 people, it's much, much harder. You're both going to be more aware, and you're going to follow all your rules and your training that you've learned. So
yeah, absolutely. So we're talking with Thomas King here at Florida Firearms Academy. Now, you do have a lot of police officers, sheriff's deputies, military coming in. What's the word on the street right now?
Well, they're saying be safe. They're working, like yesterday we took care of an officer. He is working a lot of overtime right now. He think that's good, but he also thinks it's bad because he doesn't know what he's really getting into. And that's true because you're going to come across a lot of people. What if you do have to arrest someone? Right now, they're not really arresting people for certain crimes because they don't want to fill up the jails on certain misdemeanors or whatever. But if they do have to grab someone, what if this person does have it,
Right.
Make sure that these people get what they need to protect themselves, meaning gloves and hand sanitizers or masks. Your first responders, they're in need of this right now, and our government has to get this out to them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's a challenging time. Stay calm, everyone. Stay calm, and focus on things that you can control. Inside there's that economy out there. There's the economy in between your own ears. Focusing on those things. Great time to strategically plan. Once this whole thing's over, what are you going to do in terms of a strategy? Is your business going to be the same on the other end, or are you going to have to change it up? And great time to do some reflective thinking. Look back to your past year and the year before, and say, hey, what are some ideas that we can take from that forward? Maybe add a little separate twist to it and make it better. Great time to do that. And a lot of people are knocking out those honeydew lists on their home chores.
They
right?
are. You have to think about the worst case and the best case scenario in a situation. So the worst case would be martial law, right? I mean, they shut it down. Everything's locked down. Military's here. You cannot go out. Well, that would stop everything, of course, but hopefully it doesn't come to something like that. But remember, that's when police can't come out. That's when you can't get help. That's when you need to know how to secure your house, secure your family, make sure you have enough supplies, and you're going to be all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't panic.
Yeah, don't panic. Don't overthink it. It's not the end of the world, and it's one of these things where you are prepared. You've got the certain things that you're going to be doing on a daily basis, and and try to maximize what you can. Maximize if you're in business, if you're on the phones. Hey, now you got time to make phone calls. You're going to be able to follow up and set up those appointments for when it does get better, and create those relationships for the future business. That's what we're talking to our team about. Minimizing certain expenses potentially. There's always some things that you can do to be proactive. But yeah, stay calm. And Mayor Castor had mentioned that the virus is very contagious, but so is kindness. I love that line that she was saying. Kindness is contagious too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of kids aren't taking this serious, and it can affect them.
Yeah.
So you have to think about it mentally like this: if you touch something, you can get it, and you can die within days. On the very sick people that have illnesses and things like that.
Right.
But it can affect others people. We don't know the long-term effect or anything. So make sure you're staying clean. That's really important.
Yeah.
And for survival. So stay clean.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how serious this is.
Yeah, it really is. You look at the folks that are passing away from the disease. They are older. They're compromised immune systems. So a lot of the spring breakers were still going out and partying. Hey, this is my spring break. But then they're carriers. They're carrying that back to different places where they're going. So it was a challenging time. I think they've got most of that under control. But hey, another great show. I want to thank Tampa Mayor Jane Castor for appearing on the show. Segment 1, Thomas King as well. Always a pleasure having you in studio and on the Consumer Quarterback Show. To our listeners and viewers out there, we'd love for you to support the show, support our show partners. We've got 80 plus categories, different folks that we bring on to help you understand your buying decisions and serving as your consumer advocate. So we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, as the Tampa Mayor Jane Castor had mentioned. Go out there and do something kind for one another. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.